All right. Well, the economic survey is out, and of course, with the highlights, I'm joined by the veterans of the industry, Mr. Nirmal Kumar Minda. Thank you so much, Minda, Mr. Minda, for speaking to us. First of all, the GDP growth is pegged at 7.4% for FY26. How confident is the industry about meeting such growth, sir?
I am bullish. I am more than confident, not only myself, but as an overall industry. Because we have a huge population. So 1.4 billion population, huge demand. So if our per capita income continue to increase, spending power continue to increase, and our infrastructure, which is increasing, and I think in all sectors you have seen in the economic growth have grown. So there is no way. And if you look at the developing country in the past, like China and all, they have grown even 10%. So, and now government is very, very open. If you look at the FTA yesterday with the EU, and the AFTA is on the way, our settlement with the US is on the way. So we should do more export, more MSME, more jobs and growth.
So manufacturing in the first half grew by about 8.4%. What is needed in the capex cycle to provide further growth, and is that number sustainable, sir?
Again, I'm saying that, if you look at the manufacturing, there are so many sectors in the manufacturing where our imports is more than our export. So it means trade deficit. I don't understand why do we import. Our honorable Prime Ministers have also said that, Atmanirbhar Bharat. In the last 3, 4, 5 years, he has been telling. We have been able to achieve many. But is it zero? In fact, we should be net surplus in our each segment of manufacturing. For that, we need to spend more on our R&D, more on our, capex, more infrastructure, and then quality. Quality is also one of the area. So I think with the ease of doing business, if government can trust little more better, so disbursement of the subsidy, of the PLI, of the SMS can be better. But the subsidy is not for the long term. It is also for 2-3 years it should be given. But we have to be sustained. The industry have to sustain by themselves. Demand is more. So per capita demand is going to increase.
So if I come on capital expenditure, the government has been focusing on infrastructure growth and development of industry also. The Prime Minister himself mentioning that the government does not have any intention of being into business. I want to ask you, sir, that what is the industry doing on the ground? Because the government has provided the capex and they're investing the private developers, private players to come in at a larger scale. So what is the industry doing, sir?
So we as an Assocham, I would say that we are in kind of a, you can say, catalyst between the industry and association and between the government. And one of the pillar is to support our membership for ease of doing business. So one of the impediment, I would say that, the simplification of the processes, as I mentioned, if that can be better, and the, MSME growth is very, very important pillar of a manufacturing you talked about. So if MSME growth continue to increase, for MSME growth, let's say if he is spending 100 rupees, out of that 50% goes into the land and building. If he can get land and building at a cheaper and a reasonable rented rate, so he can save his money, and that money he can spend on the machinery and the working capital, so his cost of production can also be reduced.
Sir, also we saw that NPAs is at almost a decade low at 2.2%. So that means that the industry and the big corporations are getting access to credit freely now. Is the situation on credit improved on the ground now?
Oh, this is very good, NPA reduction, because all the tax money, whatever we are all paying, were going to those so-called, you may call it any sector of the industry or any service sector, or government is very strict, which has to be done. I really salute to the government for that. So now coming to your question, the ease of financing is an issue, particularly in the MSME sector. As I mentioned before, the trust need to be better, and government is also looking that, okay, whatever money I disburse from the bankers and all that should not be going, because it is all our tax-paid money. But they are open for the good business. government is very positive.
Okay, and now, so shifting focus, India recently signed the EU FTA, which of course is one of the greatest news for component manufacturers, especially with companies like you. How do you foresee such developments, sir, and how impactful will you be for the components industry on this, sir?
So for us, you can say in each sector, I think the FTA has a different impact. I can say that quickly on our auto. Auto, I think government has very, I would say, taken care of the small car. Small, most of the premium segment, which is more than 25 lakhs, there the relaxation has been given, that too staggered, up to 2.5 lakhs car, over a period of time. And the 90% of our consumption is the mass consumption is the less than 225 lakhs. And here, our industry have to again reduce the cost of production. Why do we import? If we are good car, I think we will be able to produce good car, good scooter in our country. In fact, we should be exporting rather than importing. So for there, again, I come back, R&D, low-cost manufacturing, and our ecosystem of the manufacturing, why do we import?
Okay, last question, sir. Now, finally, the budget is around the corner. Any policy incentive or any changes that you recommend from Assocham or your personal outlook, sir?
So I would say it is not a policy. Again, MSME growth, ease of doing business, simplification, continue to spend on the infrastructure, power sector, less cost of energy, to the user, and each, the government spending continue to increase, and the medical and education. If the government can focus more on that, so that the human being, the normal man should spend less on this sector from their pocket. Like, Ayushman Bharat was one of the great initiative. If that can expand more, and human beings spend on the medical and school education for their children. That can be taken care. I think the spending power can increase and our country can grow continuously.
Spending power and infrastructure. Thank you so much, Mr. Minda, for speaking to us. That was Nirmal Minda, President Assocham, speaking to us on a whole lot of developments on economic survey and, of course, the upcoming budget.
If you like the video, do like, comment, share and subscribe.